Hi, I'm Lisa and I'm a school counsellor.
What is a school counsellor?
A school counsellor is someone who works with students in schools and helps them with their mental health and wellbeing. Some school counsellors work in a high school setting. I personally work in a primary school, so I work with students from the age of 5 through to 12. I work with both students and their families to support students with all sorts of things that they might be going through. I help with big feelings, anxiety, grief, when students are going through big changes in their family, perhaps separation and divorce. It can affect the way that they turn up at school. And so I help kids to manage the changes, manage their emotions so that they can access the curriculum and to make the most out of their time at school.
What can I expect if my child sees a school counsellor?
Depending on the relationship that I have with the child, if I know them really well, we might just sit down and start chatting, and I often will say to a child, should we go and hang out? Should we have a chat? Sometimes we might go for a walk around the oval and have a walk and talk, or other times they might come into my office and I've got toys and books and beanbags and desks, and that's where we might have a chat or even play a game to start with. When I work with your child, I might ask them what they would like to get out of the session and what's the biggest thing that's happening for them or concerning them that they would like to talk about. We might just start with, what are feelings and how many feelings can you name and what feelings do you experience or find the trickiest, and when do you feel those feelings? We might get into a conversation describing a situation that's happening for them. There's lots of different pathways into conversation about the needs of the child. After speaking with your child, I would generally make contact with you, either via email or over the phone or in the courtyard if I see you there, and we'll have a chat about the strategies that I might have introduced that you can practice at home with your child, or some conversation starters that will help you to then engage with the content of our conversation with your child. Sometimes I work with a whole class and we will work on preventative strategies. Sometimes I work in small groups where children have a similar need, and so we'll group children of similar ages and work with a whole group. And that's really nice because the children can hear that they're not the only one in a similar situation.
How can we access a school counsellor?
Access to a school counsellor is quite easy because we are on site and we're there every day. It might be that you make contact with me about a concern that you have for your child. It might be that the child sees me in the yard because they've just had a problem with their friend and they might want some help with that. Or it might be that the teacher approaches me because they can see that the child is feeling down in the classroom and they might have had a conversation with the parent. And so it's a really collaborative approach to accessing services from a school counsellor. Each school has a different way of supporting students, and there might be different staff members that do those support roles. So there might be a wellbeing team, there might be a care team. And if you're not sure, you can always call the school and ask, how would I access support for my child? Or even speak to the classroom teacher.
Are there common misconceptions about school counsellors?
I think that there are misconceptions about a school counsellor. Sometimes parents might feel like there's a big problem if their child has accessed the school counsellor, but it might just be that the child knows that the school counsellor is a supportive person and they're feeling a bit down about a fight that they've had with a friend, and so they just want to have some support. Sometimes after I might have worked with your child for a little while, I might suggest that you seek some support outside of the school from an external agency. I might write a referral for you to see your GP so that the GP understands what it is that the child needs help with at school. I then also will work with psychologists or other external agencies, allied health professionals, and work together with them to support your child in the classroom at school. And we really have a team approach to helping and working and supporting the child and the family.
A final word.
As a school counsellor, We really want your children to have the best experience of school that they can have. And we know that if a child has a really positive mental health and wellbeing, that they will do the best learning. And that's what we want for all students.